Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike. I'm so very happy that you're here with me today. Today we're going to be doing an update for the Miss May MKAL, which is a mystery knit along. This is a shawl mystery knit along being hosted by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. This year I've decided to participate. It is a mystery knit along, shawl mystery knit along. She's done these for many years, but she hasn't done one in a couple of years, so I was super excited when she decided or mentioned that she was going to be doing this year. It just started June the 7th. You get, if you've never participated in Mystery Knit Along, I would encourage you to try one. They're really fun. You get a portion of the pattern each week, so you get the patterns broken up. We get five pieces. We get a little bit of it every week, and then you work on it over the week, and there's about 800 people that are currently knitting this in Ravelry, which is amazing. And here on the Knitting Turnpike, I have about 34 of you guys knitting this along with me right now. And today I'm going to be sharing my first clue. So this is be a spoiler. If you're knitting this and you do not want to see what it looks like, you may not want to watch this video. I'm also going to be sharing, I have 17 of the 34 people that have committed to knit this with me sharing their projects today to give you guys some inspiration. Now, just because we had 34, we can have more than that. If you guys want to jump in, if you haven't started this, haven't made a decision about it, please jump in and join along with us. I'm hoping maybe you'll find some inspiration here. There is so much beauty, and there's going to be so much beauty shown in this video. So I hope you'll grab something to drink, sit down, enjoy all the beautiful yarns and shawl starts that you're about to see. All right, so this is the Miss May Mystery Knit Along. This is to celebrate May Morris. She's the daughter of William Morris, who was one of the leaders for the arts and crafts movement. I'm going to read just a little bit of a verbiage just because I don't want to get it incorrect, but it says, May Morris grew up immersed in the rustic beauty and lofty idealism of the arts and crafts movement. She went on to become one of its leaders. Arts and crafts design was about slowing down, savoring, acknowledging and appreciating the time it takes to create something beautiful and handmade, which we all here for knitting and crocheting appreciate tremendously. It was a rejection of a world dominated by machinery and mass production. It was a celebration of what human beings can do with their own hands and beautiful natural materials. That's an impulse that all creative people can relate to. Isn't that true? It's a philosophy that we recognize from a deep place within our hearts. Amen. I could not have said it better. That's why I kind of read it. So anyway, that's the start to the Miss May Mystery Shawl Knit Along. Now, to make this shawl, there's several things you can do. It is a 4-color shawl. She's doing some color blocking. If you've ever seen the William Morris prints, they're known for being very colorful, multicolored. She took the one of the prints and created the thumbnail that you saw at the opening of this video. I ended up buying, I'll get into that in a minute, but you can do 4 colors, and it's a colored block shawl, so pick 4 colors you love. She picked a plum, a pale gold, a pink, and an orange. I am going to be showing what I'm using here in a minute, but for these yarns, you do not need, you need a fingering weight yarn, 400 yards each to get going, but you're not going to use all of it. You're going to use about 220 yards, more or less. These are average, approximates. 220 yards of the first skein, 260 yards of the second skein, 280 yards of the third, and 200 yards of the fourth. So if you start out with a full skein of yarn, you should have plenty of yarn. You might even be able to dig around in your stash and find some scraps that you can use that for some of this. And I know of one person that I'm going to be showing that is doing that, just that, using her scraps. She recommends a US 6 knitting needle, but use the knitting needle that produces the fabric that you like. the look of the fabric that you like. Let's see, because gauge is really not that important for a shawl. Let's see. Again, I said that the clue's broken up over to 5 pieces. We just got clue 1 on June the 7th. It's going to go, the next clue's on the 14th. I think that's the day this video will probably be posting. So the second clue will be coming out today. Then we'll have the 21st, the 28th, and July the 5th. However, in this make-along, she's allowing people to continue on through August the 26th. Since I'm doing kind of like a little side make-along following her lead, I'm going to continue my make-along through August the 26th as well. You guys have to August the 26th to finish it up, and then after August the 26th, we'll have like a giveaway for the people who started their shawl. All you have to do to enter is do a shawl start, and I would say let's do clue 1 of the shawl and send me a picture of it. That will enter you into the giveaway. Then if you send me a picture of your finished shawl, that will get you a second entry. So if you start, you'll get an entry, and if you finish, you'll get a second entry. And I'll talk about the prizes later on. I haven't really thought that far ahead, but we'll get there. We're getting there. It's the end of August, so we got plenty of time. You got plenty of time to knit this shawl. You can participate in the group and Ravelry Curious Handmades. There's a lot of chatter going on there. You can share your progress pictures there. You can ask questions, or just chat with people making this shawl along with you. Get opinions on yarns, yarn order, all that stuff. Now, I have done 2 videos already. I talked about getting started and how to pick your colors. I will link those down in the description box below. The second video I did was all about the stitches. How do you do all of the stitches for this shawl? I do not think there will be any new stitches for clues 2, 3, 4, and 5, but if there are, I will release those as soon as the clue releases. And if there's a new stitch, I'll do a separate stitch tutorial for that, so that I can that you guys can have it for the week and not wait till the clue update to release those stitches videos. Hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it made sense coming out of my mouth. So I'm about to share with you, this is the design for the thumbnail. Now I ended up buying a kit from Wendy from Amanda Hope Yarn. She put together a kit based on this actual print. And but here is my yarn. I'm about to show my shawl. So if you do not want to see this, this is probably when you want to stop the video. But thank you for being here. All right, these are my yarns. I have the blue is Aruba, the pink down here is rose gold, then I have yellow is Limoncello, and then this light green gray is Vichy Soie. Gorgeous colors. All right, so I knitted my clue 1. I looked at what Helen wrote, and she started with her darkest color first. So for me, for these, whoops, the darkest color, these are all kind of pale colors, which I love. I think they look really pretty. They look kind of like a coastal, and I think the darkest color here was the blue, so I started with the blue. And she mentions in the patterns somewhere in here that there's going to be in clue 5 where you can finish it with your color 1, so that's kind of why she started with the darkest color, because it's going to put like a finish on the end of the shawl. So that's why I followed her lead on picking my colors. But here's my shawl. This is what it looks like. I'll hold it this way for a minute, and then you can see how I started here. I've shown you the I-cord cast on. I started with the blue. There wasn't a lot of the blue, but there's going to be more coming in. She's going to bring these colors all throughout. It's going to remind you of the design that she based it on. So there's the color 1, beautiful stitching, and then she bought, you know, she starts out with the lace, which I really love. Now here you can see this row here. It's a kind of an interesting row. Those are those cable stitches, those right cables and left cables that I showed you how to do in the stitch tutorial. She provides in the pattern, you can do an alternate type of stitch if you do not like doing those. If you do not like the look of it, you can do like a purl or a garter stitch. I don't remember what it is, but check the pattern. but you can do an alternate stitch here, and you have these same stitches here at the top of this section as well. So if you don't like the way those look or don't like doing them, you can change it up. It still looks just as beautiful. It's kind of just giving a little bit of a break to that lace before you get into the next color. So you see I used color 1, my Aruba, my color 2 is Vichyssoise, my color 3 is Rose Gold. So my fourth color will be the Limoncello. And I kind of wanted, I love the pinks, so I kind of, and the third color is the color that you use the most of, so that's kind of why I think I picked pink as my third color as well, because it's the color I like most, and it's going to be the color that's used the most. So that was also in the back of my mind, picking the colors in the order that I did. So there's my shawl, my clue 1, and again, all the stitches are in the stitch tutorial, which I'll link below. And if there's any new stitches for clue 2, I will do a stitch tutorial as quickly as I can, as soon as I evaluate that. So the other thing I want to mention is, before I start showing everybody else's works and shawls, is that there was a question asked to me about doing color changes. Someone wasn't sure how to do a color change. And I think it's just really easy. I've got a short clip I'm going to show you about doing a color changes. If you can do them on the edge, you want to do them on the edge. Sometimes it happens you have to do it in the center if you just run out of yarn. I'm not going to show you like a Russian join. You could do a Russian join. They're a little bit more complicated, and I did not show that. You Google it in YouTube. You can find a million videos for a Russian join, but you do have to kind of plan for a Russian join because you're going to have a little bit of yarn in the old color before you get to the new color. So you kind of have to plan like a few stitches back to do the Russian join before where you need the color change, if you know what I mean, because you got to have a little bit of yarn in the old color before you get to the new color. So that is something that you could do. I just do a simple start my new color, weave in the ends as I go along. So let me show you that clip, and I hope it's helpful. Okay, I had a question, and I've showed you guys all the stitches for clue 1, but I had a question, and I thought I would show you this. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel that explain this in detail, but I'll give you kind of a quick overview. Someone had a question about how to change colors. What do you do when you change colors? So I've got like a little small swatch here because I've already finished my clue 1. I'm going to add a second color here, which is this yellow. I hope you can see these well. So what do I do when I add a second color? I just put like a loop over my, knitting needle, and I leave a tail. Hold on, let me show you. I put like about that much so I can weave in an end and leave room for blocking. It's best to start a color on an edge. Sometimes it's not possible, but sometimes it is best to start that. So I just put the loop like this to make my first stitch. And I need to tighten that up. So hold on, let me tighten that up. All right, so normally I would cut that, but I'm not going to cut that other color. You would, if on the color changes for this shawl, you can cut the colors because there's a lot of rows afterwards. If you do not have a lot of rows after you're knitting, go ahead and cut the color. I mean, if you do not have a lot of rows after you're knitting, do not cut the color. But on this first clue, there was a lot of rows after the color, so instead of bringing up the side, it'd be best just to cut it. So I've got the first stitch going. Now there's always more than one way to do this. I'm going to show you the way I like to do this, and then I'll show you an easier way. So the way I like to do, I weave in my ends as I go along. I showed you how to attach that, and you've got this end here from where you started it and then to your working yarn. So what I like to do is I like to weave it in as I go. So you stick your needle into your next stitch on the needle, bring this up, your tail that you're going to weave in, wrap your yarn around, bring this back down and pull it through. And I realize that's a lot harder than the weave and Steven, which is Stephen West's method of doing it, but I think it catches better. So the next stitch, you do not have to do that. You only have to do that every other stitch. The next stitch, you just pull it over like that. So again, let's do it again. You insert your needle into your stitch, bring this up. This is the tail you're weaving in. Wrap your yarn around your knitting needle, pull that back down, pull it through, and you can see it's catching the yarn as you go along. I think it's just really nice and neat and secure. And you do that for like an inch, and then you just clip that in. I just leave my ends until it's blocked, and then I clip them after everything's blocked, because when you block it, you're going to be stretching it out and pulling things out, and I just like to do that. So I do that for like an inch or two. Now the weave and Steven method is even easier than that. You just wrap your yarn around your working yarn, and you just knit your stitch. You just wrap your yarn around it and knit the stitch. I find that this method is not as secure as the one I showed you. That's why I like to do the other one, but this one works. This one does work. Again, you just wrap your yarn around your working yarn and pull it through. And you can see how it is also being caught in the back. To me, I feel like you can see how the first 3 stitches are a little bit more secure. This one, it does just fine, and it is secure, and you do that for like an inch. Then the other way is to just leave your ends dangling on the side and then weave them in as with a darning needle. Now, for things that are plied, I like to split the plies and weave the ends in with a darning needle, each individual ply in with a darning needle, so that it can be even more secure. When something's that thick and you're weaving in, sometimes it can slip out. So I do like to do that as well. That's the third way to weave in your ends. You would do that at the very end before you block your shawl, and then again leave it long and then clip it after your shawl is blocked. But that's how you change a color, and that's 3 different ways to weave in your ends as you go along when you're knitting something with multiple colors. Hope that helps. All right, thank you so much for watching that. If you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to put a comment down below or email me. My email is down in the description box as well. Okay, so this is a 4-color shawl. If you decide you do not want to, if you do not have 4 colors that in your stash, or that you find anywhere that you want to purchase that you like together, there are options. You can do a 1-color shawl. You will need 3 skeins of yarn. The totals for the yarn is about 958 yards. I think that's what I remember. So if you buy 3 skeins of yarn in the same color, if they're 400 yards, that's 1,200 yards. That's plenty of yardage for a 1-color shawl. You will not have to manage the color changes here and changing the colors. You'll just knit the pattern and enjoy the process. You could also do something like a gradient, where you let the yarn do all the color changes for you, and you're not having to manage the color changes. You're just knitting, and that would be really fun to do and beautiful. And I believe a couple of people that in our group here are doing gradients. When we get to that, I'll point that out. But there are some people doing 1-color shawls, and there are some people doing multicolor shawls, and there's people doing 2 shawls at the same time. How exciting is that? So let's just go ahead and get into it, since I've mentioned that. I have 17 people here sharing their projects. Thank you guys so much for sharing your projects with us. I love this part of my videos the most. I feel like sometimes people may not find inspiration out of what I'm doing, but you guys are going to find some inspiration out of all of this. This is beautiful work, and I just am so grateful that people are wanting to do this shawl with me and want to share and inspire others to do something handmade, just like Miss May would. So the first person I'm going to be showing you here is Barb Turcotte. She is Naughty Yarnies. Go check out her channel. She is doing a 1-color shawl, the most gorgeous green. This is Velatura, I hope I can say this, Di Crasa Giolio yarn. I think I said that right. I don't know. Isn't it gorgeous though? Such a beautiful shawl start, and I know she said her mom is already trying to claim this shawl. I can see why. It's going to be so beautiful. It already is beautiful. The second person we have is Carol Fuechsel. Carol won one of my patterns in my giveaway. She is doing a one color shawl. This is Vitalana sock yarn. I believe this is navy. It might be purple. It's just her shawl start. It's looking so beautiful so far. Keep on going. I'm so proud of you, and it's so beautiful. I love the one color shawls. If I didn't have so much on my plate, I really think I might do a one color shawl. I'm tempted. The next person to share with us is Crocheting and Knitting Addiction with Shari. That's Shari Montgomery. She is showing us various cotton cakes of yarn. Here, she sent me some other yarns and then the cotton cakes. So I'm not exactly sure which yarn she's starting with, but here is her shawl start. She did send me a picture of her shawl start, and it is looking so beautiful, Shari. I mean, it is so pretty. So I love that kind of peachy cream color. It's looking really nice. So thank you for sharing that with us. The next person to share with us is Debbie Perea. She's using Yarn Bee Color Idyllic Orangeology yarn. Debbie's favorite color is orange. And look at this gorgeous shawl start. It is so pretty. So she's doing a one color shawl in orange. It's going to be beautiful. I love this so much. Good job, Debbie. It's so pretty. Thank you for sharing with us. The next person to share with us is Debbie Hammer. She's Debbie Loves Yarn. She is doing a multicolored shawl. She's got 4 colors here. She's got, she's starting with a green, but she has a gold and a pearlescent. These are all Knit Picks Stroll fingering weight yarns, which are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And then the pink she has is a hawthorn yarn, fingering weight yarn from Knit Picks. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% polyamide. Soft, super soft. So it's really gorgeous. I love the colors you've picked here. It's so pretty. It looks very spring. I love it. Great job of picking those yarns, and I look forward. The green, the starting with the green is so pretty. The next person to share with us is Diane Emmick. She is showing us her yarns here, and she is living on the edge. She told me she was going, even though, you know, variegated is not really recommended for lace, she's like, I'm going to go for it. And these are her yarns, and she has a beautiful pop of hot pink. I love it. And here is her Clue 1, and it looks amazing. I love it. I mean, the variegation, I think it's really pretty. You can still see the lace, and it's really, honestly, about knitting with what you love. And I love this. If you love it, go for it. That's what, you know, it's about making yourself happy. And the next person to share with us is Demetra Zamaz. I hope I said your name right. Dimitra is going to be doing a very colorful shawl as well. I don't have a Clue 1 for her, but what I do have, I have her yarn that she's going to be using. I have 12 mini skeins. These are from an Advent set she bought, plus a full skein. Yoriko Oki. Yoriko Oki. Sorry, I cannot read my own handwriting. Yoriko Oki, and she's out of British Columbia. These are beautiful. It's going to make a very kind of subtle, I love how the yarns fade into each other. That's really nice. The next person to share with us is Donna Holmes. I have Donna's yarns that she's going to be using here. She is the person who is actually re-thrifting. She is using some leftovers. She has some Patton's Croy sock yarns, and the pink, she is recycling. The pink that's underneath all those 3 is a recycled sweater. So she thrifted a sweater, and she's recycling that yarn to use with the other 3 to make a 4-colored shawl. Isn't that beautiful? And what a great idea. I love that. The next person to share with us is Elizabeth Willars. Now, Elizabeth is sharing her yarns here with us. She has a gorgeous selection of yarns. She is using some hedgehog fibers, some Madeline Tosh yarns. She's got kind of a variegated gray with some pinks and she's got some a Madeline Tosh, kind of like, I'm not sure what the name of that one is, but then there's a paper, and then there's the green. That's so pretty. That's going to be really gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that with us, Elizabeth. I look forward to seeing your clue one. The next person to share with us is Evelina Lindstrom. Evelina is using a beautiful green alpaca silk yarn that she got from her grandmother's stash. And she's showing us here her cast on, and she's showing us here a little bit of her shawl start. And it is looking so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That yarn has some really good stitch definition. Really pretty. And that's going to be really pretty. So that she's going to be doing a one color shawl, which is really nice. The next person to share with us is Ingrids Inspiration. Ingrid, everybody, we love sweet Ingrid. Ingrid is using a yarn from S. Teresa. This is S. Teresa's Diva yarn. It's a linen and superwash merino wool yarn blend, and it is gorgeous. Look at the pale variegation in this. It's so spring-like and pretty, and just going to be amazing. I love the color choices she's using, and this is a yarn company out of South Africa. One-of-a-kind yarns, really beautiful. The next person to share with us is Joyce Swinson, my beautiful friend Joyce. She is doing 5 colors. Well, she was gonna narrow it down to 4. We're all trying to talk her into keeping that 5th color. This is her shawl start. These are the colors she's gonna use. Aren't they gorgeous? And this is the shawl start. Isn't that pretty? Really pretty. Thank you for sharing that with us. The next person to share with us is Claudia Hernandez. It's Katie Bear. She's got 4 gorgeous colors here. Let's see. They are from Christy Archer, Plymouth Yarn Saki, and Premier Serenity Sock. Gorgeous colors, and here is her clue 1, which looks amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. She got the picture of the yarn and all that. It looks really, really beautiful. Look at that gorgeous stitch definition on her shawl. It's amazing. Let's see. The next person to share with us is Melanie Titus. Melanie is got 2 yarn choices here. One is a Twister Hobie yarn, so she's going to do a gradient, which I'm excited to see. And the other one is a hand-dyed yarn from, I believe, Dreamers. I hope I get that right. So she's going to do 2 shawl starts and figure out which one she likes the best, and then continue on with that one. So that's like an interesting idea. I liked that. So those are her choices, and we'll have to see which one she ends up picking, but they're both beautiful. The next person to share with us is Perry Walden, and I got this off of Instagram. Perry, if you could email me your pictures, that would be great. When I Instagram, you can't download the pictures off of there, so I have to do screenshots, but I wanted to share this because look at these colors she's using. She's got a pink and a green and a gray and a blue, and there's just really, really vibrant and pretty, spring-like, and this is her shawl start. It looks like she's starting with the blue, and it's looking good so far, so I'm excited to see it going further and which colors you're going to pick next for the color 2 and color 3. Beautiful. The next person to share with us is Scary Spider. She has some beautiful yarns here. She told me she lives over in the UK, and she went to a fiber festival and she picked up these gorgeous yarns. She's got a gold and a green and a blue and an orange. These are gorgeous, and look how they kind of even go with the pattern that from Helen Stewart. Her printer is working better than mine. My printer, I think, is about out of ink. That's really the right color, and that's gorgeous. And so she's going to be doing a 4-color shawl, and she's also going to be, she showed this yarn as well, and this is a gorgeous, it's a silky soft, it's got silk and wool, and it's a silky soft gray lilac shawl that she's going to knit in a 1-color. So she's going to do a 4-color shawl and a 1-color shawl. Beautiful. Can't wait to see both of those. The next person to share with us is Tammy Sabo. Tammy is sharing with us Leo Roxy Basics yarns in a variety of colors. She's got like a rust and a teal with some rust, and then a darker teal. Gorgeous yarns. Gorgeous. And then she's going to be, she's a very fast knitter, She's already got Clue 1 knitted up here. Here's a picture of it. It's with some beautiful flowers, and then also a little bit of a close-up. So gorgeous, gorgeous knitting. That yarn looks really great, and I love the variegation in that one yarn. It's really, really pretty. Sometimes you just need a little bit of variegation in your yarns, and those are the 17 people I have to share today. Thank you to each and every one of you for sharing your shawls and your yarns with us, for inspiring us to knit this. Again, if you have not started this, if you're thinking about starting it and you want to, you need to buy the pattern on Ravelry. I'll put a link to the pattern down below. Then just get started. You got to pick your yarns. You could watch my getting started video on how you can use art or prints to pick your yarns or other things for inspiration. Then pick your yarns and get started. And then I have the stitch tutorial as well that you could watch for or use as a reference on how to do all the stitches. You may already know how to do them, or you may just want a quick refresher, so you can use that as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit longer than normal, but thank you for sticking with me and watching this, and I hope that you've enjoyed seeing all those beautiful yarns and works of art that are coming into play, celebrating Miss May and William Morris, who are such pioneers in the arts and crafts movement. So, as a thank you for watching this video, I'm going to have a hidden giveaway in this video, and if you would like to win, what I have today to give away is this beautiful skein of yarn. This is Cotton Kings yarn from Hobie. This is Cotton Kings Sultan yarn. It's 800 meters, which is 875 yards. It's 100% cotton. Here's what the gradient looks like. I believe this number is 244. Oh no, it's 6. Color 6. If you want to go look it up on Hobie. But it's a light purple to a medium purple. You could start out here and go in, or you could start here and go out. It doesn't matter. If you would like to win this, I'd like for you to put a comment down below. I will have rules down below this video as well to check out for my giveaways. Sometimes I cannot ship to certain countries, and if your name is picked and you live in one of those countries, I will give you a gift card to a store of your choice in lieu of the prize I won't be able to ship to you. I apologize for that. But there is a link to check out the countries that USPS has limited shipping to right now. Let's see. This will post on the 14th, I believe, if I get everything done. So I'll give you guys I'll pick a winner on the 23rd of June. We'll go from there. So June 23rd, I'll pick a winner, and if you want to participate in that, you need to make a comment down below and include the word curious. You need to put the word curious, CURIOUS, for Curious Handmade. Okay, so curious. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. It means the world to me for watching and looking at all these beautiful works of art that are just starting, and encouraging everyone. And I hope you're encouraged. If you want to participate with us, we would love to have you join us. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. I hope to see you all very, very soon. All right, bye-bye.